The hardest part of starting over, especially when you're over 50, isn't just the work. It's the crushing weight of feeling like you have zero resources left. You look at the bank account and see a zero, or maybe a tiny balance that won't cover next week's rent, or a mountain of debt that feels like a weight you can't shake. It makes you feel helpless, like you're caught in a storm just drifting in the middle of the ocean.
We've been where you are, and we've learned something important. Even when you feel lost, you can still take back the lead. Today, we're going to show you how to use what you already have to stop drifting and start making real progress.
I'll give you a personal example. Years ago, I was a professional chef, but I was battling addiction. It had caused a lot of wreckage in my life. I'd wasted a lot of money, driven almost everyone away, and felt like I had nowhere to go. After many tries and a lot of humiliation, I was finally able to get sober, but I still felt lost. I knew I had potential, but I didn't know how to move forward. Now, as I was contemplating my next steps, I noticed my old Ford Ranger in the driveway. It wasn't much of a truck, but to me, it was my identity. That truck and I had history, good and bad. It was me. But to move forward, I had to change my lens. I had to realize that truck wasn't just a memory, it was a life preserver. It was cash I had spent in the past that was frozen in metal.
And this is the hard part. Terry didn't want to sell that truck.
No, I didn't. I loved it, but I realized it could help me. My old truck didn't get me much money, but it gave me some peace of mind. That cash gave me the breathing room to figure out my next move without drowning in debt.
My storm looked a little different. I appeared to have everything, but privately, I was living under domestic abuse. I eventually escaped with less than $50, a single suitcase, and a backpack. When you have nothing left, your life preserver isn't in a garage. It's your decision to stop living in fear and stop moving forward. I needed a plan.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to see a path forward when you're just standing there in the cold, waiting for things to change. To get back to a place of warmth and clarity, you have to find a way to break that cycle. You need a clear, focused, complete method for your rebuild. And we've developed that master blueprint for you. It starts with the one thing you cannot skip, your foundation.
That's where the momentum begins. We want to give you the tools to break that cycle right now, completely for free. In the description below, you'll find our free evaluation quiz, along with some other great free tools. They'll show you exactly where you stand, what you need to rebuild, and precisely where to start.
You don't build a house by buying lumber first. You buy the blueprints first. If you feel like you're spinning your wheels, check out the link to the master blueprint below. It fixes the number one mistake we see people make, trying to rebuild their bank account before they rebuild their identity. This is the step most people skip, and it's the exact reason so many people end up having to start over. Realize this, you aren't starting from zero. You're starting from stored potential. But even the best blueprint needs a solid site to build on. To find yours, you have to take the first step of action.
To activate that potential, we stopped looking at what was missing and started looking at 3 specific places. We call this reclaiming your value.
The first place to look is the someday audit. I've got to be honest, this one can be hard. Now look at your garage or your attic. I used to look at my pile of tools and think, I can't sell that. I might need it someday. That logic kept me stuck.
An item on a shelf isn't an asset, it's worth zero until you actually put it to work. Ask yourself, is this serving my future or just taking up space? If it's been sitting for a year, trade it in for something that actually moves the needle. Don't let your resources sit idle. Turn them into the momentum you need to move forward.
Now the second place is the skill audit. This was our lifeline. What have you done for 30 years? At 50, you have wisdom capital. Stop looking for a job and start looking for a problem you can solve for someone else. This is your quickest path forward. For me, it was my journey to sobriety that allows me to help others solve their problem.
Finally, look at your network. I had to ask myself, who do I know? When I started rebuilding, I had to swallow my pride and tell people I'm starting over. I reached out and asked, do you know anyone looking for someone with my skills? It was that network and the incredible references from my past employers that opened the doors to the right job and to be able to help other people.
It's a shift in perspective. Instead of looking at what's gone, you're identifying exactly what is available right now to be reclaimed and used to fund your future.
You don't have to do it all at once. We found that if you pick just one thing, one item to sell, that one person to call, that is exactly how you turn zero into momentum.
Once you start finding that fuel, you need to know how to organize it so you aren't flying blind. If you missed our video on the 2-column rebuild, that's your very next step. It's where we break down how to look at your numbers with total honesty.
Remember to take our free evaluation quiz in the link below. It's the best way to check your bearings and see exactly where you stand before you start building.
Let's stop looking at the storm and start framing your future.